What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Week 11 version of the SWOLECAST here on RotoGrinders.com. David Kitchen, joined by Peter Overzet. Peter, how are you doing right now?
I'm ready to get out of the country, Dave. I've continued to take a beating in DFS. I've tried every possible thing involving not worrying about ownership percentages, playing the best plays, getting drunk while building lineups. And now I have no other choice but to leave the country.
The drunk lineup building show.
Michael Leone's wife left him, bro.
Yeah, that was.
I haven't seen it.
I
need to.
Leo,
I saw the Leone tweets. Oh my god.
This is the best thing, and I don't even know if this is public, so I'm really gonna blow Leone's spot up here. He had and Max entered the $15 multi-entry FanDuel contest on that night with a train of non-active players. So he just burned that off.
Just a
nice $750 video for the brand. Anytime you can brand yourself an alcoholic while losing $750, it's worth it. That's that video though. It was a masterpiece. Whenever Leone could not figure out how to talk it to them, it was like an hour-long version. If you just go back and watch it, just use the scrub. Just use the timeline and just go for the beginning and then to the middle and then to the end to see the three stages of Michael Leone. We thank you for basically sacrificing yourself for art. That was art. All right, so we got Mr. 05. Tuttle, you were in that Wisconsin weather, and
I am. I'm a little. I didn't realize I was this windburned until we started doing the show, and then my face is just completely red.
I saw a video of Green Bay Packers game where the kid is just licking the concrete barrier at the game. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Is this like Christmas Story style where his tongue gets stuck to it?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
No, he just someone was just videotaping him and he was like the end of a row and he's just like licking the concrete wall over and over again. That's all you need to know about Wisconsin fans.
Honestly, it's not even that cold here right now. It's only like in the 20s, but the speed of
that is cold.
The speed of the tractor when you're driving down the road really whips in your face and gets you.
You gotta have that mattress on top.
Yeah, Tuttle looks like he just walked a mile uphill in the snow both ways to buy a quart of milk from the country store.
It's called the corner store over here. Thank you very much.
I wish we had the draft sheet picture of Tuttle all bundled up. That would have been good. And then we've got Davis. And Davis, are you in a safe location right now?
Yeah, I'm still working on my new lighting. Work just sent me some new lighting. I'm honoring Silva though. Is what I'm trying to do, really.
Oh no, like we could see it. It's almost like a Star Wars like.
Can take out his lightsaber.
Yeah.
Davis looks like he's shooting like a Carhartt modeling shoot right now.
Yeah, he's all bundled up.
Yeah.
I think he shaved. Did you shave, Davis?
On like
chin strap?
Monday.
Oh. Nice. I just saw the video. All right. Well, we got a week 11 to talk about, and let's just go into Overzet's overview. Peter, what do you got for us? Oh, by the way, Peter, Dan Bach literally thinks that you're in Mexico right now. You're talking about a potential video project.
He brought his office down in Mexico.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I bring my set with me everywhere I go. You never know.
You're talking about a potential video, and Dan's like, well, Peter can't do it. He's in Mexico.
Yeah. No, like I knew I was going to go to Mexico. I was going to need all of my props, like my when we talk about funnel defenses this week. But yeah, no, it's I would say it's a real interesting week, guys.
Don't blow your load with the props in the first 5 minutes of the show.
That was worth it.
Would you ever go to a Carrot Top show and worry about him blowing his load? He's got a trunk full of them. Come on, have a little faith.
You being the Carrot Top of DFS is probably about as accurate as it.
Oh, was that a comment last week too?
I think Rummy called me that like a couple of years ago, and I'm really trying to get it to stick, you know?
You're Jack-like. All right, so we'll move off of Peter, and we'll ask Davis what the overview is of the week.
Well, I mean, if people who are super bad at DFS keep playing me for ascending amounts of money, it just doesn't. It hardly matters who I play. I got a 1K last week, and the guy played 4 wide receivers, none of whom were Michael Thomas, and it just.
I'm not even laughing at this other guy's team because I've never seen it, but. Davis talking about it is good.
Davis, didn't you demoralize your initial troll so much that he waved the white flag and called you
initial troll waved the white flag, but another troll, a guy who's not liked me for a long time, he got involved and he did not break 100 on DraftKings against me. So,
Davis, how many head-to-head invites did you get last week?
So right now, I've only registered for the games that people have sent me. So I've not entered anything in the lobby. I'm registered for 32 contests just in games that people have sent me.
Are you running the 1K back? Do you get another 1K?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, running that back for sure.
What was the best the title on the invite you got? Because you were asking for creative titles.
So there were a couple. I gotta give a shout out to the person, everyone who referenced the Gilcast, like parts of it, that you're gonna get the best one. So there's this ongoing joke right now that Nate calls Sammy and I mentally weak for building our lineups by hand and not with an optimizer. And so like 3 or 4 of the invites were like, we'll see who's actually mentally weak or something along those lines. And those were the best ones.
Oh, that is so good. I did see on Twitter where someone sent you a 1K head-to-head, and you're like, well, I don't know you for this 1K head-to-head. I don't know if you're like good or not. And he's like, well, we did have the same lineups last week. And
so why would I play that guy?
And Davis was like, well, then you're probably a really good sharp.
I just said you're probably good, so I won't. It probably means he's a Daily Roto subscriber, so I don't really want to be playing those people.
Probably sharp. All right. Let's get into the actual games, please. We got to move on. Davis, do you have anything for us?
Yeah, I actually think this is a really fascinating slate because DraftKings has now – there are no layup studs. We have Christian McCaffrey at 10.5 in what is the layup of all layup spots for running backs, but – unlike the past weeks where you could just say, okay, well, if I don't want to play Christian McCaffrey, I'll just play discounted Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is now at 9,900, and I would guess that more lineups than not do not involve at least one of those 2 players, despite just a lot of value being out there this week. And then probably the biggest what is going on situation of the week is the Oakland Raiders have the highest team total of the main slate as of Thursday. Now, the 49ers team total, it could change over the course of the rest of the week or whatever, but having major decision points on the Raiders is, that's very tough.
I think it just speaks to a semi-efficient offense for the Raiders and just a terrible.
Yeah, the Bengals gave up. They gave Joe Mixon 30 rushing attempts in a game that they lost by more than 30 points.
Oh, geez. It was so bad. And then you've got Brian Hill. Is he like Davis?
Brand, baby.
Good?
Let me tell you. This is very good for my brand.
Now, do you think he's good now though? Because your brand was that you.
How are you going to do Brian Hill like that?
Oh, my God.
Because, Brian Hill said it on the podcast himself. Running backs don't matter. Like, literally, they all are asked to do the same 3 or 4 things, and the only time that there's a difference between the 2 of them is when they, get out in space, 3 times a game. He said, those are his words.
I know. It's just amazing that he called you out and you said it's a bit.
It is a bit, and I'm on a show, so I'm not going to drop the bit, Dave.
All right. I thought that maybe him being on the show would change your mind. Would you?
No, mad love for him. But
are you lock buttoning him into your lineups if you don't?
Well, let me tell you, Dave. When I got that news Sunday morning that Matt Stafford wasn't going to play, you know what I did? I just said David Montgomery. I'm going to get leverage on the field even if he is 50%. I'm lock buttoning him. And let me tell you this: David Montgomery is truly. He's actually bad. Brian Hill is better than David Montgomery, and I feel very confident in that statement.
All right. Tuttle, what's your view of the week?
FUCK David Montgomery, first off.
Yeah, that was bad.
Is that cool if I just spell that out real quick?
Not cool. Nope. Not corporate.
I'd rather say it, but I don't want this to have the expletive tag on it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun week. All the high-priced running backs are in just absolute smash spots. FanDuel just decided not to change their pricing on anybody again.
What in the world?
Yeah. You love to see it.
You love to see it. So it's play all the same receivers you've been playing for the first 10 weeks of the season on FanDuel for cheap. Play Brian Hill if you want. McCaffrey, Dalvin. You have more decisions on DraftKings, which is kind of what Davis was alluding to. You might have to get ugly there at quarterback if you're going to jam in some running back.
Yeah, this is a good brand week for Kitchen.
Yeah, I can't believe Kitchen's not touting Driscoll and Cash.
We haven't talked about running backs yet. But, yeah, there are some interesting quarterbacks in play on both sides. But on FanDuel, you don't even have to. You even, have – that was the interesting thing about the whole lineup sharing thing last week is that, there was a piece of news with Shady McCoy being absent that made lineups just very easy. And then everyone's saying everyone's lineup sharing. Well, it's just common sense. Meanwhile, on DraftKings, you had to figure out. Yeah,
love to share lineups in NFL, a sport where literally my sister could probably create a lineup that would be drawing live on FanDuel.
Okay, I'm both sides here because I think it's hilarious people are denying that there aren't people that work together. That's obvious, right?
Sure.
But who's stupid enough to share a lineup with 20 other people? The problem last week was that, let's say there's 10 groups of 2 that work with each other. They all ended up on the same lineup.
Yeah.
And that's why it looked so bad.
Dude, somewhere Samson right now is just watching the show.
Well, no, I'm admitting there are people that work with each other out there. It's obvious, and I think it's stupid.
We work with each other to create a lineup on this show, like a cash lineup.
Yeah, cash lineup.
Yeah, this is how the pros do it.
Yeah, Leone and I had the worst attempt at collusion since the presidency of all time last week, and look how well that worked out.
All right, who's the Kofifi of quarterbacks this week, Peter?
Kofifi of quarterbacks is, I want to, my heart.
Give me an answer.
Let's see where this transitions.
Yeah, hashtag DraftKings, hashtag quarterback, hashtag salary. My heart wants to play Kyle Allen. My head says to play Jameis Winston. That's where I'm at.
All right, Davis.
Do I have to follow up on that pick? I guess I will take Mike Evans to do the stack.
Wait, are we building a lineup?
We're not building a lineup, Davis.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's why I was confused.
Welcome to the show, Davis. We're talking about quarterbacks right now.
So Lamar is clearly the guy that you just want to get in every format. I don't know. He probably his baseline is 4 points higher than everyone else. I also really like Josh Allen. He just has another really good floor.
Wow.
I think
you like Josh Allen?
Yeah.
What are the odds Davis plays Lamar Jackson in his cash game lineup?
Very high.
0%. Come Sunday.
Kyle,
at quarterback is just the fishiest move ever, man.
I had Lamar last week.
Score around 20 points.
Well, you're confusing me with Sean Newsham right now.
No, this was you. This was you 2 weeks ago.
That was me, the Deshaun Watson tilt.
Against Oakland, yeah. All these guys just scored 20 to 25 points anyway.
Davis is still in the process of encouraging head-to-head invites, so he's giving out the false flag lineup.
Okay, I got it.
Sunday, he tightens it up.
And I just turn over Jeff Driscoll against everybody.
Oh, man, how about that pass from Driscoll?
Oh, the Galladay touchdown?
Right, Galladay. Man,
actually, Dave, we kind of buried the lead here. Boots in the ground. What is the atmosphere in Tennessee after that big upset win last week?
I told you, Derrick Henry against the Chiefs. Target the Chiefs on the ground.
Would you say he's a grown-ass man?
Yeah, I also would like to say A.J. Brown is alive. I've confirmed that. So he is alive and well. people thought he was MIA based on his performance last week. That was
so. By the way, the actual play is probably Kyle Allen, right, on DraftKings?
Yes, Kyle. Well, it depends. Like, if you can make the case that maybe Atlanta is like better on defense now.
I just mean it's like a week where, like that's a good game environment. It's a good total, and he just gets to throw to all these guys who are great weapons. He doesn't really have a ceiling. He has not been over 18 DraftKings points since week 3, but it's just more like the context of the slate. Like, I would rather pay for Kyle Allen than Jeff Driscoll.
Did you just talk yourself off of Lamar Jackson in 5 minutes?
No, but I think those are the ranges. Like, because I don't think I would play Breeze, Watson, Dak, Jimmy G, maybe Josh Allen, but those would be like, I think you're either playing Lamar or you're going cheap.
I think Allen's a little bit too pricey still too on DraftKings. I think people are going to play. We talked about the high total game, Derek Carr. I think people are going to play him.
He's 6.1. They're just
that's so expensive for Derek Carr.
That is. I can't, because I'm again helping Jamino with ownership projections, and so he sends me in the initial run, and Derek Carr I think is up there second or third highest, and I think it's probably going to be the case. I do think that Derek Carr is going to be the top 3 high owned quarterback on the slate, but it's
I'm like 0% to play Derek Carr in MME, like just not a chance.
Josh Jacobs is just gonna they're just gonna run the ball the whole game. That's what they want to do.
Yeah, Jacobs is like the biggest lock of the week, I think.
So you've got the Allens, you've got Driscoll, you got Carr, you got Jackson, but this also feels like a nice little GPP week as well, because you've got lots of different options to go with. Like, we haven't even mentioned Deshaun Watson. Like, this game could be like they're going to have to throw. He's going to have to use his legs. What are some other GPP quarterbacks that you like this week, Tuttle?
Man, I'm kind of thinking this Baltimore defense is like really good now. So as much as Watson has been impressive this season, I'm kind of off that game, kind of off DeAndre Hopkins.
Really?
Davis is starting to get that smirk.
I'm just tilting at Tuttle saying this.
Just wait, Davis. Just wait. Peter.
Yeah.
Could you bring out some water in a funnel real quick? We have the New England Patriots going up against the Philadelphia Eagles team that has some funnel tendencies, I would say. Wouldn't you guys say? There, you hear that? You hear that? Those are funnel tendencies right there. Tom Brady in tournaments, stack them up. What do you think about that, Davis?
Davis, I have a marketing thing for you that I just figured out. This is what you say. You say, you know what a funnel is when you turn it over? A dunce cap.
Wow.
You
should have so many more Twitter followers, Peter. You really should. It's like unfair.
I actually tried to get the RotoGrinders account. Like, let's mention Peter more in the videos. And Pete was like a starving artist where he was just like, no, you don't have to. I don't want to ruin the brand.
Dave, 2 videos this year have gone for over 80,000 views. Both of them all caps lock tweets with no handles. Trust my SEO vision here. I will lay on the tracks for the views.
All right. There you go. What about this, David?
I can't believe Tuttle really just touted Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah. 6,400, baby.
All right. What about for the matchups crowd, Peter? Let's tilt Davis even more.
Hold up one second. You know who we could stack Tom Brady with? You know who's really cheap and we could stack him with?
Dallas Goedert.
Ben Watson.
Oh God, getting the terrible takes out early.
There we go. That's a real tout. That's a real tout.
Ben Watson season.
All right. Tight end will come later. So as far as the secondary for New Orleans, though, Peter, it looks banged up. This looks like a secondary we might want to target. Like some nice little wide receiver cornerback matchups.
You guys are tilting me so hard.
I mean, Dave is right. I've been in the Discord all day with Chow, and he's like,
Marshawn Lattimore's
not looking good.
Jameis season, and now you've got OJ Howard taking snaps.
He spills that on the Discord. He didn't make you run to a video link somewhere.
He did. Yeah, he didn't make you go to profootballdoc.com where you get access to all the videos. All you got to do is put your email in.
No, the Chow is like the counselor. He thinks no press is bad press, or whatever that's. So
it is actually the saying.
It is.
Yeah. Fool me once.
I like the Bucks. I like the Bucks a lot. I just did a show with Eric, who is Eric Beimfor, noted Chris Godwin stan, and he was throwing in Godwin and Evans in his lineups. The first non-negatively correlated week, he was calling his shots. So I think it's Bucks season.
I mean, they can't. Those guys can't be negatively correlated.
Well, haven't
poor
they?
Eric has been.
I hear Christian Kirk is negatively correlated in.
Yeah, there's some good advanced analytics on that.
Poor Eric last week. His conviction plays in lineup HQ, they were fire. Like Darius Slayton. Like I played some Darius Slayton on FanDuel just because of Eric, but he faded. I think he faded all to the Christian Kirk chalk. And of course, it doesn't matter what the conviction play is. If
to be fair, Christian Kirk was lining up outside, so you couldn't play him.
Yeah.
I didn't say you couldn't play him. I said that he was not a mortal lock, and I paid for that dearly.
I think you said his range of outcomes was similar to AJ Brown.
I did not say that.
Thinking. All right, let's build on DraftKings NFL quarterback and Davis. Since you've been riding such a hot streak, we're gonna have you go first, and we're gonna have Peter go dead effing last.
We are gonna go with Lamar Jackson as our quarterback.
Oh, this is going to be a good lineup then.
Oh, in this economy, Davis?
Yeah, that's pretty pricey. That is.
Yeah. Can't wait to play Raheem Mostert to make Lamar Jackson work.
Hey, there's some good value plays this week.
Like Allen Hurts.
All right. Tuttle?
I am going to go with – I'm going to bring it – no, can I bring it back? Do I want to bring it back? I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna go chalk Brian Hill.
Chalk Brian Hill. All right. Let's give the people what they want. Let's give the people the chalk AF lineup this week. Let's go with Josh Jacobs.
So this actually is a cash team.
Yeah,
this is a cash
I'm sure Peter will find some way to donk it up. So, Peter,
I was going to ask. I was going to give you guys a choose your own adventure dichotomy. Do you want a Pete?
I want Galaxy Brain Pete.
I was just going to ask. Do you want a Galaxy Brain play, or do you want to play the best plays play?
I want Galaxy Brain Pete.
Well, I'm getting
play the
messages.
best plays.
Oh, I was outvoted.
Davis, you'll actually like this play the best plays. If we're doing this, then we're going to play DJ Moore as he leaves.
Davis has been kidnapped.
I just needed my phone.
I am waiting for someone to a terrorist to come into Davis's frame right now and demand $1 million for it.
So as of right now, these 4 plays that we have in here, these are all in my placeholder cash lineup that's sitting there to accept all of these head-to-heads.
You must play this lineup in GPPs.
Cash.
All right, Davis, what do you got? All right, well, let's say we got the four core plays, so maybe right now we go a little bit off.
Yeah, so let's get a little weird, and let's go Dallas Goedert at tight end with Alshon Jeffrey likely not playing, expecting a lot of more 12 personnel out of the Philadelphia Eagles. Think they're going to be trailing for a lot in this game. Nice, and gets us off the Darren Waller chalk.
Got to target that New England defense
when you get the chance.
Yeah. All right, Tuttle,
as they say. Since we no, I'm just gonna play the best plays. You know what?
All right. You don't want to go off the board?
I'm gonna go Terry McLaurin.
Dude, that was gonna be my Galaxy Brain play if you guys chose that.
Yeah. This is not even a Galaxy Brain play. We got Ian Horitz out there tweeting the graphics. He's not
a helicopter. Did he helicopter Terry McLaurin? God help.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a helicopter. It was just one of those. It was one of those other things that he does. I don't even know.
Was it a guy like peeking out from a brick wall? Like, I think
it was that. Yeah, I think it was that.
Do you know, I did a tweet about that today. And do you know how long it took me? I went down a rabbit hole of Twitter artwork. I got some good ones lined up, guys. Anyways.
I don't know if you remember like the OG Facebook days when someone would say like you got hit by a truck and it was like a truck of like, anyways, you should use that. All right.
What are the Terry McLaurin stats that I'm supposed to be looking at? That's what I'm. Just
that all of the DBs he's facing are bad.
Davis, do you know what the Jets defense is ranked for?
That's DVOA? What it is. People, there we go. That's what it was. It was that the Jets are.
Oh, it was a funnel. It is a funnel. I'm glad
I find this stuff so fascinating to know
that's
like
how the
what
funnel worked out.
Yeah.
Are you lactating?
No, I just funneled all over myself.
Oh, cool.
Oh. All right. So let's go Chris Godwin this week then.
This is a pretty good team.
Man, we got some fast guys in that
lineup. The thing is, with Marshawn Lattimore not there to shadow Evans, will Evans now just get all the targets? PJ Williams is going to line up outside as a speculation. That's what he did last week.
Ooh,
he's the trash.
They're going to target wherever PJ Williams is. Agree, Davis?
Yeah, probably.
Davis hates talking about defensive players.
I mean, I just don't know it just doesn't matter, so I just don't know.
All right.
I remember when I used to write automatic absolutes in like 2015, like while I was sitting in the concourse at K-State, just like religiously going through Pro Football Focus's wide receiver cornerback matchups and just like, yeah, this is the week, and just like, and then
this is the matchup,
and then you just realize like, oh, this guy got 3 targets because he's not any good.
All right. I really don't think we needed to go Dallas Goedert, but we did. But we've got basically 8,500 left for a flex and a defense. Davis, do you have any good defensive takes this week? Like, what's your best defensive take?
I mean, feels like the chalk defense is going to be the New York Jets. I kind of think that the Dolphins defense at home to Josh Allen is playable. They showed last week that as long as the quarterback playing against them is interested in turning the ball over, they can be okay. And it feels weird, but the Dolphins, they might be kind of popular this week, which is pretty gross.
If you play them, you can play another chalk.
Schmevin Schmolman.
Right, so Schmevin Schmolman.
And then you can just play, if you played this lineup in cash, you would not be giving up that many points to people, which is
other than
crazy.
At the tight end position.
Yeah.
Yes.
Davis, I'm going to send you a 1K head-to-head and play this lineup.
We probably are missing out on the chalk wide receiver this week. But other than that, yeah. Who do you think the chalk wide receiver this week's going to be? Peter.
Michael Thomas, right?
He's too expensive, man.
He's pretty expensive. Not on FanDuel, though. Not on FanDuel.
Yeah.
But you think Debo's going to be a chalk?
Yeah, 4K
wide receiver. Yeah.
I
think with all the other high-priced guys, I think he's going to be like this week's Christian Kirk as far as ownership goes. All right. No George Kittle, by the way, for those that don't know. So let's move on.
Do you prefer Ross Dwelly to Dallas Goedert?
No.
Yes.
All right. Well, 25 on that.
Let me look.
I'm actually.
I bet at DR. I bet we have Goddard ahead.
Damn.
But
Dwelly was.
He got 7 targets.
He ran the second most routes out of all 49ers.
Yeah. It's just I'm running hot on bets against Dave.
Flowchart. Oof. Flowchart's against
man.
you on this one.
Imagine how tilted I was when I spent all Sunday morning berating Davis for having such a hardline stance on Ronald.
Lock button. You had to eat that after the first drive, bro.
Oh, that was fun. That was good. Hey, David, you can send that over.
Oh man!
I dropped the PayPal.
He literally
in our
got
chat.
20 yards rushing the whole game. He got as many receptions as like he did like his.
Hey,
whole
that's
college
why
career.
I just TTP.
Trust the process. Well, you should have played OJ Howard with that as well.
You know what I should have not done? Lock button David Montgomery.
Nah,
Should not have done that one.
Should
I
not
should
have done that.
switched off of for Christian Kirk on DraftKings at the last second because with Damien Williams news, but such is life. All right. Davis told me I couldn't play him if he's lined up outside.
You guys are such children.
I heard it on this show. I mean, we're forward thinking, but
Yes.
He was my
Definitely
highest owned wide receiver in GPP last week.
Oh.
52%.
So you were even with the field.
Underweight.
Are you openly admit like this?
That was
like
that was overweight in MME.
Is this a Davis brag or a draft cheat tweet? What is going on?
Oh,
here?
if I was a draft sheet tweet, I would have to brag about touting Christian McCaffrey.
Hey, to be fair, I think James Harden is getting a game or two up here without Russell Westbrook. I actually think that is coming this weekend. So get ready.
All right. Let's talk about running backs. Tuttle, your take on just the Brian Hill and Josh Jacobs situation as far as like the chalk and like do you pair him with McCaffrey? Like what's your running back take this week?
Well, we're kind of already getting what I think would have been bad chalk. And it's not going to be chalk anymore. We did out with the J.D. McKissick stuff. Ty Johnson's already back at practice. Not sure what his status is going to be. But regardless, it's highly unlikely J.D. McKissick actually sees any sort of like a full-time role. So he's still in play on PPR sites where you think the Lions are going to be playing from behind, but he's far from a cash game option. Brian Hill is definitely a really strong option this week. You're not going to lock button him. I do think you probably play him in your cash lineups, but matchups obviously there. The workload's going to be there. He's going to see he saw 20 touches last week. It wouldn't be unsurprising to see that again. And so at his price tag, yeah, he's a guy that I think is just a really, really strong overall play.
All right. So RB3, Dalvin Cook or Christian McCaffrey? Or Tevin Coleman?
I think the better construction right now is with Tevin Coleman, but then it's going to feel that way until Christian McCaffrey gets 50. And you get 18 out of Tevin Coleman, and you're like, "Wow, great! I'm really glad that I did that." And then you're just watching Jeff Wilson cuck him 3 times at the goal line.
I know that we didn't get Peter's news and notes for this week, but Matt Breida is already out for this upcoming week. So fire up all those Mostert. How do you say his last name, Peter?
It's the French pronunciation, Mostert.
Is Mostert?
Mostert, Pierre Garçon, Mostert, et beef bourguignon, Pepe le Pew.
Oh, oui, parlez-vous français. All right, so Michael Thomas in your cash lineup or Christian McCaffrey, Tuttle?
C-Mac.
Yeah, now that they're priced so close, it's Christian McCaffrey for sure.
I think on FanDuel you could actually play both if you really want
you can
to go that route.
If you play Jeff Driscoll?
If I played cash, I would play Michael Thomas.
All right, there you go.
Not on DraftKings.
If I played on DraftKings and I played
you
cash,
play FanDuel only.
Yeah,
I used to. I'm back to DraftKings.
One week was enough.
I saw that they didn't adjust the pricing on FanDuel. I said, I am out, guys. I want to play where it's a little bit more of a game, okay?
If you didn't make money on FanDuel last week, Peter, you are a giant fish.
Well,
Dude, the sober play the best plays lineup did not get there.
I'm surrounded by water because I am a true fish. Can I mention a running back that I'm surprised more people aren't talking about? Why aren't we talking about Devin Singletary? 7 targets last.
Sucks.
I've sent some Singletary love.
Are we talking about David Montgomery East?
No, Devin Singletary catches passes. He had 7 targets last week and is now eclipsed Gore.
I call him Devin Singletubby.
You should have more Twitter followers, Davis.
I don't understand it.
Tubby's another name for fat, and my whole brand now is just calling different NFL running backs with 3% body fat overweight.
Yeah, and your fellow SWOLECAST host.
I mean, Josh Allen, Singletary, and John Brown stacks are going to win somebody $1 million this week. So,
I mean, is it though when Mike Gesicki and Ryan Fitzpatrick stacks are winning someone $1 million?
Oh gosh.
Fine, yeah. I guess Tuttle and I will just win all the $1 million with Devin Singletary.
I
think the running back player. I think the running back player pool is so defined.
Score, right, Davis?
Peter, think of the size of the funnel we could buy.
Dude,
you could literally buy the world's biggest funnel.
Dude, I will fly out to Wisconsin and we will build a teepee in the woods and live there happily ever after, surrounded by our money.
Okay, I'm done.
Right. Other running back play, like no love for Dalvin Cook this week, Davis?
No, I really like Dalvin Cook. It's very hard for me to decide between trying to include him in builds, because something I'm really trying to do as the season goes on is I'm not just trying to play all the dudes. I would like to have a little bit tighter of a pool, which was partly why I was so amped to just lock Montgomery and Damian Williams last week. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a choice you're going to have to make in cash, and certainly I don't think that playing McCaffrey and Cook together is good for tournaments. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll try and get close to over the field on both. But if I'm playing one of the two, it's going to be McCaffrey. There's just a lot of ways for Cook to fail in games.
All right, Tuttle, let's talk about some cheap running backs. One is kind of on brand for you. Waiting for you to mention them.
I don't know. I mean, we talked about the cheap chalk running backs.
Tobacco Road, North Carolina, their rival.
I'm not playing Duke Johnson.
Why? Why not?
Why would I?
He's like a brand guy for you. He's going to catch passes.
You gotta
if you play Lamar, don't you got to have some Duke love and GPPs?
There's a very easy bring back. You don't even have to get Galaxy Brain. You just go Fuller.
That's pretty Galaxy Brain. What if Duke
Fuller
Johnson
is Galaxy
outscores?
Brain?
I mean, when Duke Johnson outscores Will Fuller, yeah.
Okay. I will bet that with you if you'd like.
You can pass on that one.
All right. Miles Sanders, Davis, as you're targeting the Patriots defense.
I mean, here's the thing about every cheap running back that we've touted so far. They all are like 5 points worse than Brian Hill, so I'm just going to play a lot of Brian Hill.
I mean, Kalen Balazs is the guy, right?
Oh, no, Patrick Laird. Let Peter Overzet tell you about Patrick Laird this week.
I mean, Patrick Laird, undrafted, plays special teams.
Profiler.
I mean, all you need to do is search on Twitter for Patrick Laird. You'll see his one catch from last week. He is a grown-ass man, I tell you this. But seriously, if Balazs sucks, you got to think. I mean, what did he have? He had 20 carries for what?
25 touches last week.
For 43 yards? I mean, they got to be done with him, right?
I don't think they care.
But they do because they're rolling out Fitzpatrick. They seem to care too much. Aren't they like 3 games out of the playoffs right now? It's ridiculous.
All right. So not as many options as in the running back department this week. So let's move on to wide receiver. Davis, top wide receiver for you this week, not named Michael Thomas.
Michael Evans.
Okay.
Mike Evans is the best wide receiver in fantasy football whose last name is not Thomas.
All right. And the matchup doesn't have anything to do with that this week. Targeting him over
who?
Godwin. Because they're $100 difference.
Evans has like 400 more air yards than Godwin.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Evans leads the NFL in targets while like standing in the end zone. Like he has like 5 more than anyone else. It just like his whole peripheral profile is that of a stud.
All right, Davis, I'm going to give you one opportunity to give a cheap wide receiver take that's going to go off this week. And
I didn't know this was coming.
This is such an easy layup for you, and I cannot believe you're not.
How are we defining cheap?
Under 5K.
I mean, well, I don't want to say Debo because like Debo is not my brand.
Not Debo.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Dante Pettis.
No.
Oh, Kitchen. Did you see the Shanahan quote?
No, what did he say?
He could be a lead receiver.
No. He said we keep giving him more opportunities, and then he keeps doing nothing with them.
Yeah, you're dropping them. The whole team was dropping them though last week. I thought you were going to say D.D.
Westbrook to lead the team in targets.
I thought you were going to say D.D. this week.
I mean, I like D.D. this week, but I don't think here's the thing.
How are you not loving him this week?
When a guy
with Nick Foles beat D. Nick. All right.
When a guy burns you as bad as D.D. Westbrook burned me to get 0 points and leave injured in my cash team, it takes like I gotta fight through that psychological barrier with D.D. Westbrook.
If you're spending up on some guys, I don't mind paying.
Well, I think you'd rather play Debo.
Play them both. Play the best plays, right, Peter?
I don't think that's bad advice.
Play the best plays, bad advice. Tell that to a YouTube comment section, Davis.
Doesn't Indy have like kind of a funnel defense where they?
You guys are just making stuff up now.
No, they like bring their safeties back so that they.
Dude, I think if you guys,
it's called a zone defense, David.
If you guys straight up like had $1,000 on PayPal ready to send to me right now, and they were like, you have to name an Indianapolis Colts defensive player, not named Darius Leonard, and I'll give you $1,000. I don't think I could do it.
I didn't even know Leonard.
I only know him because people on draft Twitter got mad about it. He retweeted people who said he sucked.
Imagine this show having an analyst on there that could name the backup defenders of a team and then replacing that guy with Carrot Top. You can't name one defensive player.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Does Pierre Desser still play for them?
You're asking it wrong.
He does. Pierre. Boom.
292 snaps this season.
Ship me $1,000. I just named another Colts defensive player.
Didn't Xavier Howard used to be on the Colts, right?
Pierre hasn't played since week 7.
I'm unclear on both of those things. One, why Desir would not be playing, and two, who Xavier Howard used to play for, and is he even? He plays for the Dolphins, right? Because that was the one that Kitchen was like, "Who's he shadowing, bro?"
Yeah, when he was like one of the worst cover corners through the first 4 weeks of the season or something like that. I thought he went on IR.
I think I'm wrong.
No, that was Tre'Davious White I was talking about. All right.
Good. Speaking of Tre'Davious White, you know who he's probably going to cover this week, right? Right, David?
Who's? No.
Devontae Parker.
Devontae Parker. You know who's that's going to free up?
If there's one guy
Alan mother-freaking Hearns. Alan Hearns, terrible take of the week. Lock it in.
Wow. Getting it in without unprompted. That's impressive.
Unprompted.
I like it. I think it was like you being outside has kind of like cleared your head.
It's increased his testosterone levels, definitely.
There you go.
Big high T plays here.
Is Peter any wide receiver takes? Otherwise,
I mean, how have we not mentioned DJ Moore, who is like the lock of
We
blocks?
already talked about him.
He was my play in the lineup.
In our lineup.
It's like when you got up and left, and I said Davis is going to like this because it's DJ Moore. He's good.
How did you miss that?
He's the Christian Kirk play this week.
You're going to get
so he's lining up outside, so you can't play him.
Davis, let me flash forward to Sunday. Ian Hardett's tweet. Just swooping down to say Curtis Samuel's going for 202 touchdowns.
Curtis Samuel, if Frisco Josh wasn't a coward, he would be the new redacted. He has this year, he has the widest discrepancy of air yards and actual receiving yards over everyone in the NFL by over 100 yards. It's just like he's just running wind sprints out there.
Air yards don't matter.
I'm actually Josh is coming to Mexico City for the game this week too, so I'm going to meet him in the flesh. I'm going to kind of air some of my grievances with the buy low model and the whole redacted thing. And if you guys have any other complaints you would like me to get
tell him that if he's going to redact it, tell him he's not allowed to redact Mike Williams, who's just running bad. It's unfair to redact Mike Williams.
Yeah,
Didn't he get either last year or the year before last? Didn't he go down to Mexico City for the game that got canceled?
And they canceled the game?
And they canceled it, yeah. We're running it back. Davis, I actually call him Mike and Ike Williams because he looks like he just eats movie snacks all the time.
Dude, that Mike and Ike sound motherfucking
Davis
delicious.
is so mad he didn't think of that.
No, I'm mad I don't have Mike and Ike's on my desk right now.
I am pissed I don't have Mike and Ike's.
All right, Tuttle, FanDuel receivers that we haven't mentioned.
FanDuel, Cash.
Michael Thomas, DJ Moore, and then give us a third wide receiver.
Yo, my guy who's going to win
John
somebody
Brown?
milli is actually in playing cash on FanDuel.
John
Brown, yeah, 5,900. We haven't talked about Tyler Boyd. He's in play on both sites.
Tuttle, you legit looked and sounded like Sacha Baron Cohen there when you went, yo, my boy, dude.
That's exactly
He does look like Sacha Baron
He
Cohen.
does.
Yeah.
I
Was that
prefer. Who the hell is the guy from?
Borat.
No, from the league.
You look
Nick
like him a
Kroll.
little bit, but
Nick
not as
Kroll.
much as Sacha Baron Cohen.
But I forget what's the character's name because he's hilarious.
Tuttle.
Ruxin.
Yeah.
Tuttle, say my
but
wife.
Also, what's
Tuttle,
that?
say my wife.
No, this is literally a 16-year-old joke at this point. It's
I don't get it. My wife.
Yes, that is so him.
Simon, in post-production, see if you can extend the vowel on that I. It'll be perfect.
no, Simon. Simon, just do the Borat clip over it,
Yeah.
so that people thought that Tuttle
Is
just
that a
did the spot
Borat
on.
joke?
Yeah, and it's so dumb and stupid. This is like every guy you hate at the office or what school you went to. That guy thought it was hilarious to say my wife 16 times a day.
Davis, how many office jobs have you ever had?
Dude, plenty.
Saying my wife is how you win at the water cooler, you guys.
It's
Davis
definitely
just doesn't
GTO.
know.
Yeah, it's
How do you bring it
GTO.
up? What's the natural progression? I don't get how you make that joke.
You just say it and
just say
people
my
get
wife?
what you're saying. Yeah.
Here, let me just give it to the people. My wife.
My man. Hey, dinner next Thursday?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's move on.
And that's how friendships are made.
FanDuel. Let's work on some FanDuel NFL, and then we'll cover tight ends.
Allen to John Brown.
FanDuel.com, NFL, DraftKings, salary, NFL wide receiver.
Josh Allen to John Brown.
I feel like we're having a really good show so far.
Oh, yeah. Lots of really good, actionable advice here.
We haven't mentioned any bad takes, really. No one's mentioned a game that is not on the slate.
I don't think that's happened since
pretty
Silva
good.
bailed on us.
Oh, no. We do it pretty much.
We successfully named one defensive player on the Colts. I mean,
No,
this show
two,
is on
bro.
fire.
Two. We named two defensive players on the Colts. I'm a real fantasy football analyst now. I'm gonna get so many retweets when I say I'm gonna break out the asterisks. Serious
Let's just do a
shit.
series of tweets that's just asterisks listing defensive players.
Here are all the defensive players I know. J.J. Watt, his brother. Joey Bosa, his brother. And so on and so forth.
Nick.
Which Watt brother? Derek?
Well, TJ is the good one, right?
Derek, right?
Derek Watt, didn't he score a touchdown last week? 2 weeks ago?
I'm starting
Maybe
to think
2 weeks
football runs in that family, guys.
I'm not going to giggle at that.
I thought it was
All right.
good.
There are
was
definitely
good,
some, if there are boomers that watch this show, I think that Peter would just go so far over their head that they would not ever be able to listen to it again. Somehow Peter is older than me, but he's got the humor of a 16-year-old.
I do have 9 emojis in my Twitter profile right now. So.
You also have a TikTok account.
Oh, dude, I am killing the game.
He's blowing up on TikTok.
Dave, you had to have liked that one of you from the.
I loved it.
People are not giving me enough credit for how perfectly the words are synced with the things that are happening in the video. I mean, come on.
Well, I didn't listen to it. You got to put the sound on emoji because I didn't really listen to it with the song until like 3 or 4 plays of looking at myself.
Yeah. I didn't believe you when you said you had a TikTok account, and then I went and found you, and you actually do.
You know why? Because Smith joined TikTok and said something. I was like, well, if Alvin Seidenfeld is joining TikTok, then I've got to as well.
Hey, join me. The water's warm. Jump on in.
We're young in spirits. All right.
Josh Allen, John Brown.
Let's start it out with let's start
with Lamar Jackson. With Lamar Jackson and Marquise Brown.
With Josh Allen and John Brown.
Well, let's take the 2 better versions of those players on FanDuel since you can play whoever you want.
Josh Allen and John Brown.
Lamar Jackson and his cousin.
We just played Lamar Jackson on the other.
Well, I mean, we're playing the best plays. PTBP.
I like how we said, Dave goes, we're having a good show. And then immediately after that, we just devolved into the worst version of the show.
Dave
couldn't handle
had
the
like
success.
a side conversation for like 5 minutes.
We couldn't handle the success. It was bad. We had to stay true to the brand. All right, John Brown
And
Josh Allen. Who are we going to bring it back with, Tuttle?
I mean, I can't pick 3 plays in a row, so I'm going to.
Yeah,
Why not?
All
This
right.
is your world. We just live in it, Tuttle.
Tuttle, just give us your FanDuel cash team.
Look at Peter's shirt.
Okay.
Peter's shirt. Can you
He's
show the
such a-
camera his
He's
shirt?
such a slob.
It's the pants.
Hey, Peter,
It's
your,
like-
zipper,
it's
your
like that-
zipper's down.
Hey,
It's like that time.
do,
like
the,
that
do
tape
the finger.
Davis.
Do the finger.
No, don't do the
Do
Michael
the
Scott.
finger. Yeah, with the
No.
you can't tell me to not do something and then have me. Hang on. Let's go full. My wife.
We're not going to get paid for this episode, I don't think.
Dave, what's our pay rate for this show?
This is the first time I'm like actively crying.
You can't even tell that I'm red right now because I was been red all show from the windburn.
I can't wait till.
Oh, Mike Honcho is rolling around in his grave right now.
Just a bunch of giggling teenagers.
I can't wait till that becomes a GIF. Oh my gosh.
Listening to
know,
this
what were we
via
talking
podcast
about?
would be so disconcerting.
No, well, Davis, they've been putting my bankroll challenge vids in the podcast feed, which was fine for the CSU Ram one, but they put the Leone one in the podcast feed.
So it was just like 20 minutes of you being like, Michael, speaking to the microphone.
Yes.
And then Michael moving the microphone past his face so no one could hear it. And then slowly.
All right.
Okay, so FanDuel, Lamar Jackson, Marquise Brown.
Yeah, man. You know who we cannot bring it back with is Mike Gesicki. Boy, that was a dusty play last week.
I legitimately don't know what pairing we have because Tuttle and Mattek are saying two opposite
We have Josh
things.
Allen and John.
Fine, we'll go Josh Allen. I concede.
Allen and John Brown.
John Brown is one of only 2 wide receivers to have 75 receiving yards or more in every game this year, but he only has 1 touchdown.
I really wanted to do a Nick Foles stack on FanDuel, but oh well.
This is the least surprising thing I've ever heard.
I kind of like it, Dave. Little Marlon Mack bring back.
Yeah, just really attack the absence of Pierre Desir in the secondary.
I mean, Nick Foles is $7K. He is dirt.
Dave, you and me, let's
Cool
get
story,
together.
Dave.
Let's get together. Let's get
How
our
much is
exposure.
Driscoll, bro?
Hey, Davis, can you let Peter talk?
Yeah, we're having
what you're saying?
They might not let us have Foles, but let's get like all of our exposure to Foles via Chark in this lineup. What do you think?
Yeah.
I'm in.
All right, let's go.
I like it.
All right,
That is
Peter
good.
and I have talked, and we are going to go with DJ Chark.
So does that mean Davis then picks? So we don't have to get a kitchen selection?
Yeah, it was a Galaxy Brains play.
So
All right,
tight
Davis?
end is miserable. I wanted to make a pick, but I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that to someone else. I'm gonna go Galaxy Brain, Amari Cooper, I mean, he's sandwiched in between two of the most popular guys just in fantasy period, and Evans and Godwin, and so many people are going to have that space for Michael Thomas that, I mean, Amari Cooper, he just smashes every week, and he's going to be not owned.
I do, right. Yeah.
And he's got that good matchup. Darius Slay is having a bad season, I think I read. So
you keep blacking out and saying things about defenses, Davis.
I'm trying to remember as many defensive players as I can for the rest of the show.
All right.
All right. I'll ask that question when it comes to tight ends.
I will be picking
O.J. Howard. Say O.J. Howard.
Alvin Kamara.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Alvin Kamara, who is, I mean, this has got to be the cheapest he's been since at some point last year, right? 7,400 on DraftKings, 7,800 on FanDuel. Pretty wild.
Pretty wild. He didn't see the roll reduction that we thought he would see either.
And people are going to jam Josh Jacobs in at 6.9, and Kamara is $500 more expensive.
He only got 4 rushes last week, so
they were just getting blown out, though. Like, I don't know, it just happens.
Yeah. Can't establish that run against the Falcons. All right, so we've got some decent salary left. Peter, who you want?
Yeah, I think we can do it over on FanDuel. Little Schmevin Molman.
Play the best plays.
Play them.
You don't really have a bit this week. I'm kind of bummed, dude.
Hello.
Is Tevin a funnel defense play?
No, I'm saying just Davis. I literally stuck my finger through my zipper.
You don't have a bit, and he just.
But play the best plays was like the funniest bit, like because that was just we could say that 30 times a show, and that was really good.
There's only so many like DFS theory bits you can do before you run out of all of them. Like now, I just have to win or stay in Mexico forever. Those are the two options.
I think you should do a plot twist this week, and win. Like what if like you won it all?
Peter agrees.
Like what if you won it all? Imagine like the build up of the music, the soundtrack. I think you should try for that this week.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, Dave.
Yeah, well,
dude, that's such a good idea.
No, he thought of that last week when he played the best plays.
Oh God! All right, who's up?
I think it's me. I was going to see if you go Panthers, McCaffrey. You definitely cannot do that. So let's go tight end. And let's go with Mr. Darren Waller.
You mean Whopper?
So, I mean, just like Darren Waller is actually a difficult play to make this week, I think.
Let's save it for the tight end portion of the show, Davis.
Been thinking about Darren Whopper all week. Kitchen doesn't listen to the SWOLECAST, so he doesn't get the Gilcast, so he doesn't get the joke.
I know. I've listened to it those 2 times you lost and like really dejected. Like those are like my pick me up pieces. So I get that Nate says the Whopper all the time.
No, but the last 2 weeks he's like, okay, it's not even. I mean, it's not even worth it.
Yeah. No,
but
I love it when you're explaining jokes, inside jokes from other shows on this show.
Well, basically, Nate played 6 suboptimal plays and shaved $1,000 off at every position to play 6,300. Darren Waller, who got 2 targets, and that's where the joke has been coming from.
Okay, cool. So if you play Panthers, then you can play Leonard Fournette in that flex spot.
What do you call him?
Or Marlon Mack if you want to bring it back.
Fat CMC.
All right, so let's talk about tight end now. Davis, give your Darren Waller take.
Well, so at first glance, you're like, wow, that dude is so cheap on DraftKings. He's 5,500. He's had, obviously, one of the best target volumes at tight end this year, but his volume has been trending basically the exact opposite of Hunter Renfro's playing time. Like the more Hunter Renfro has played, the less Waller has been targeted, and Oakland has been one of the most rush-heavy teams in positive game scripts. So when they're up 7 points, they are just trying to they're trying to establish it to levels that would make Mike Zimmer blush. So if the Bengals really do just give up, or if there's like a defensive touchdown in this game, like I could see Waller getting like 4 targets. So that's where I'm at.
More fantasy points this week, Davis. More fantasy points. Darren Waller or Kyle Rudolph?
Darren Waller.
No.
Kyle Rudolph is going to get 7 points or 0 points.
Bro, I got 2 touchdowns last week. Irv Smith, man. Hey, how are your dynasty
Irv Smith has 29 targets.
Smith.
Rudolph has 30.
Irv Smith, dirt cheap on DK.
He's popping in the blitz. A little Irv Smith action over there on the blitz. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Shout out Derek Gardy in the blitz.
Truly blitz.
I don't know why you went country on that.
I did meet Derek for the first time at the RotoGrinders thing last year, and I didn't know that he like looked and dressed like an indie rock star. He had tighter jeans on than you wear around the office, the long hair. I mean, him and Davis could get together for a little folk album, I think.
I'm too fat to wear skinny jeans these days.
Hey, you lose a couple pounds, you'll be matching me in no time. All right. Tight ends that you like in cash games, Tuttle.
Darren Waller.
I mean, he is the best value.
That's the list.
You think it's Darren Waller and then nobody?
Yeah. That's
all right.
I don't think that there's no one after that, but Tunnel's like general thing that he's saying is, yeah, he's the best play by a whole standard deviation probably.
He might be best.
You just can't play him because of his price tag, like because you're gonna be paying up.
He might be the best play on the slate when you consider positional scarcity.
Right.
Other guys, if you're forcing me, Greg Olsen.
I am forcing you.
Greg Olsen's 5,100 on FanDuel. It is cheap.
He's 3.9 on DK.
Otherwise, the Indianapolis tight ends are also in play. Again, these are just guys that are weaker options though than Waller. I do think Waller is the cash game play.
My Discord was blowing up because Doyle was in fact limited in practice today. So
Ebron's
tough.
I'm going to say I mentioned Eric Beimfor, who's also Peter. Wasn't he on your lineup building show?
Yeah, we just recorded it right before this. It was good.
Oh wow, you should check that out on RotoGrinders.com, YouTube. So his conviction play for tight end, I believe, or maybe it's not. Never mind. I was going to say Ebron, but I don't think it is. Cool story. Never mind. You have to subscribe to RotoGrinders Premium. I think it was someone else's conviction play. You know, we have lots of conviction plays on here.
Dave?
Yep.
I mean, I hate to do your job for you, man, but I've been getting these messages from the producers, and they'd really like you to promote Lineup HQ being free this weekend and the free roll on Yahoo.
Wow, what a freaking company man Overzet is right
available.
now.
It's available for Yahoo. And I was right. Beimfor does have Ebron as his conviction play for tight end. So there you go. I'm rolling with Eric. I'm rolling with Eric this week. Okay, any other tight ends you like? I mean, at 4.7K 2 weeks ago.
I mean, are we really are just going to breeze past all of this without talking about Mark Andrews?
Andrews, Zach Ertz. Let's talk about him, Davis.
I mean, it's just like Andrews is the most tilting play ever because he doesn't play all the snaps. So you're like, you go and look at his Pro Football Reference, and you're like, oh, he played 46% of the snaps last week, but Lamar is so freaking crazy good that it just doesn't matter. Like the guy's just going to run above expectation in fantasy points every game for the rest of the year.
Look, I listen to one show before this show every week, and it is the Pick Six with Rebar, Crane, and Daigle. And Rebar said it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter about the number of snaps he plays because it's about
it's
the
all
number
about
of routes that he runs and the targets on those routes.
Okay. I was going to say, because Reeves literally coined the cardio term for Chris Hogan last year, who was running a ton of routes with 0 targets.
But it's basically like whenever he's out there, he's running routes. Whenever he's running a route, he's getting targeted.
Yeah, they bring in Boyle and first round Hurst to do the run blocking.
To block, yeah. 28-year-old.
Hayden Hurst was drafted ahead of Lamar Jackson. BT Dubs. I just like to remember that.
I'm pretty sure he's like 28 or 29.
So Sony Michel was also drafted before Lamar Jackson, which is even funnier. Josh Allen, Sam Darnold. Just always funny.
It is nuts that he ran.
Turns out when your quarterback drops back to pass only 18 times that you're not going to have a whole lot of routes run.
That's a good point, Tuttle.
Tuttle really just dunking on the folks.
We didn't really talk about Fuller at wide receiver other than bringing it back. You said bringing it back, right?
I mean, my strategy in tournaments this week is going to be very simple. It's going to be about 60% of my pool is going to be Lamar with a bring back, Deshaun with a bring back.
Hold on. All right. Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, I think you just run about 60%. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run like 60% of my stuff. Lamar, min 1, Marquise Brown, Mark Andrews, then min 1, Fuller, Hopkins, Fells, Stills. And then the same the other way around.
Are there any min 2s?
Yeah.
Yeah, min 2 with Jameis and Evans, Godwin, Brait.
So
you're not going to bring in Howard into this? OJ Howard?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He ran
that Brait.
Brait didn't play last week, really. He had like 2 snaps.
No, that's what I meant, Howard, not Brait.
I think he meant Howard. All right.
So just wait. I have a GPP question for Davis.
Yeah.
So why would you bring it back with Will Fuller when Kenny Stills is going to score more points than him?
You can include Fuller in your group if you want. I bet at DR we will have Fuller projected for more points, though, so I don't know if you'll get that much Stills.
All right, so crossing off min 1 Fuller, min 1 Stills.
You should have min 1 Fuller, Hopkins, Stills, and Duke Johnson.
No, Fells I think is the better min 1 because there's way less opportunity cost. Like you could probably min cash some teams with like 4 from Fells. You're definitely like you're just nuking your equity if you get 8 from Duke Johnson.
Did you say something about a min cash? Because that sounds real nice right about now. Min cash Pete and min 1 Mattek.
All right. Let's wrap this puppy up. So as far as like final thoughts, Davis, final thoughts for you.
Man, I really hope that Brian Hill chooses not to suck for at least one Sunday. And it'd be if he it has like a crazy day, like 190 yards and 2 touchdowns, it's going to be very good for my brand because I'm just going to get to tout that podcast so hard.
No, I don't know if it is because you said he wasn't good. So why would it be good for your brand? I mean, people be talking.
Oh, did he come on your podcast? Did he come on your podcast, Dave?
No. But your brand is saying that he's bad.
You're confused. You thought that he came on your podcast, but he didn't. He came on mine.
Only Davis would like his brand to be the guy he says bad to blow up for 200 yards on the ground.
That's just interesting. It's sour, David. It's really sour grapes, buddy.
Not a good look, David.
It's really not.
You truly hate to see it.
Okay, Peter, for this final thoughts segment, need you to give us some actionable info. Can you put your finger on it?
Mm-hmm. Mañana me voy a México para ganar un GPP. Adios, amigos.
All right. Very nice. We should have had you as the last thought. Tuttle already gave his bad play.
Also, John Brown season.
Yeah, John Brown season. Stay warm out there. All right. That will my wife, Tuttle, you crack me up, man. All right. That will do it for the Week 11 SWOLECAST. Shout out to Simon for putting up with us. Shout out to corporate for not removing us yet. And shout out to the viewers and the listeners out there who give us kind things every week and send Davis Mattek head-to-head invites. So on behalf of these yahoos, we'll see you next week. Week 12, the pre-Thanksgiving edition of the SWOLECAST here on RotoGrinders.com.